We are talking about chemical reaction, and in this chemical reaction I'm talking about rate of chemical reaction first, and then we are talking about catalyst and its characteristics and the types of catalyst. Okay, let's talk about chemical reaction. uh, the point is rate of chemical reaction. Okay, in the chemical reaction, what is the meaning of rate of chemical reaction? Change of concentration of a reactant or product per unit time is called chemical reaction. What is the meaning of this thing? Let's take one example. Let's say we have two compounds, sodium hydroxide, and another is, let's say, hydrochloric acid. This is a base because metallic hydroxide is base. This is an acid, hydrochloric acid. When acid and base reacts with each other, then they form salt and water. Here salt is sodium chloride and water adds 2O. Now what I want to say, at first when reaction is not started, let's say hydrochloric acid is 10 gram. 10 gram hydrochloric acid was taken. When reaction starts, then hydrochloric acid is used up in this chemical reaction. Its amount goes on decreasing, its concentration goes on decreasing, 10 gram to 9.9 gram, 9.8 gram, 9.7, 9.8, 7 gram, 6 gram. This way, at last, it is completely used up. Now, that's why what can we say? Change of concentration of reactant per unit time. In unit time, how much is the change of concentration of this reactant gives rate of this reaction. Or we can take product also. One of the product, let's say sodium chloride. First, when reaction was not started, sodium chloride, amount of sodium chloride was 0 gram. When reaction starts, then the sodium chloride produces and 0.1 gram, 0.2 gram, 1 gram, 2 gram. This way its amount goes on increasing. It means its concentration goes on increasing. That's why either we can take one of the reactant or one of the product, and we can define change of concentration of a reactant or product per unit time is called chemical reaction. And this can be calculated by using an equation also, just like this. Rate of reaction is equal to change of concentration of reactant, or we can take product also, divided by time taken. Okay, this may be the formula for calculation of this rate of chemical reaction. Okay, now this part finished. Now I want to talk about catalyst. Catalyst, what is it exactly? Catalysts are the chemical substances. We can say these are chemical substance. Keywords I am writing. Catalysts are the chemical substances which are used to change the rate of chemical reaction. Which are used to what? Change the rate of chemical reaction. The rate of chemical reaction. Catalyst has chemical substances which are used to change the rate of chemical reaction, but they do not take part in the chemical reaction. But they do not take part in chemical reaction. Okay, this is the definition of catalyst. Looking at this definition, we can write the characteristic of catalyst also. If you are told to write characteristic of catalyst, then you can write this way. There are two important characteristics. What are those two? Number one, we can say that it doesn't take part in the chemical reaction. It does not take part in the chemical reaction. It does not take part in the chemical reaction. How can we say so? Because when it is used in a chemical reaction, if 5 gram is used, after the chemical reaction it remains the same. That's why it doesn't take part in the chemical reaction. Its mass its mass remains same after its mass remains same after the chemical reaction. Okay. Now there is another characteristic also, important characteristic. Actually, catalyst doesn't initiate the chemical reaction, but changes the rate of ongoing reaction. That's why it does not initiate the chemical reaction, but it changes the rate of ongoing reaction. These are the major characteristic of what? Catalyst. Now characteristic also I told you, catalyst characteristic. Now let's talk about types. Catalyst is divided into two types. One is called positive catalyst. Number 1, positive catalyst. Another is negative catalyst. Now, what is positive catalyst? A catalyst which increases the rate of chemical reaction, The catalyst which increases the rate of chemical reaction is called positive catalyst. We can take example also. Just for example, when potassium chlorate is heated, it requires very high temperature to decompose into potassium chloride and oxygen gas. This is one of the method of preparation of oxygen gas in laboratory, and this is heating method of preparation of oxygen gas. But the same reaction can be done at low temperature if we use manganese dioxide as catalyst. If potassium chlorate is powdered, manganese dioxide is powdered, and they are mixed with each other, the same decomposition occurs at less temperature. And that's why manganese dioxide is acting as catalyst, which is increasing the rate of chemical reaction. This reaction can be balanced this way. Oxygen here 2, here it is 3. It's odd number. We have to convert odd into even. 3 2 is 6 oxygen. Now if we take here 3, balanced both the side. The chlorine 1, chlorine here 2. If we take 2 here, it is balanced both the side. Potassium 2, potassium 2. Okay. This is example of what? Positive catalyst. Now let's talk about negative catalyst also. This negative catalyst, when hydrogen peroxide decomposes, it forms water and oxygen gas. Hydrogen peroxide is an unstable compound which, when decomposes, forms water and oxygen gas. This is one of the method of preparation of oxygen gas in laboratory, non-heating method. We are not heating this hydrogen peroxide. It decomposes itself into water and oxygen gas. And this rate of decomposition can be slowed down. Slowed down by using glycerol. glycerol. If glycerol is used along with hydrogen peroxide, then the same reaction becomes slower. And we can balance this with oxygen 2 and 1 3. Here it is 2. Right hand side odd number, we can convert this into even number. 2 plus 2 4. If we take here 2, and the oxygen is balanced. Hydrogen 2 2 are 4 4. Now what is negative catalyst then? We can define this way: a catalyst which is used to slow down, which is used to what? Slow down the rate of chemical reaction. Rate of chemical reaction is called negative catalyst, and glycerol here acting as what? Negative catalyst. It slows down this decomposition. Okay, this much for today.